Hello, hello. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. Had some internet problems at our normal start time, and then Clarky was having some issues, and then our little niece and nephew swung by to see the chickens and get some eggs, and I was like, oh, goodness. So much. Uh-oh. And now I hear my child trying to escape. Bedtime. Well, nap time. She's so tired. I don't know why she won't sleep. Hi, honey. What's wrong?
I want to go back in my room.
Okay, you can go to your bed. That's fine. Love you. Okay. She just came in to let me know where she's going to be, you know. Fair enough. How are you guys doing? We're still under Disco Elysium? Oh my god. And for some reason it won't let me change my stream info. Oh, there we go. Hey, we're not doing Disco Elysium, actually. A shock, I know. Just hitting you up with info. You know what? If that can persist, if my relationship with my kid is just like, hey, I just wanted you to know this thing about what's going on with me. Anyway, bye. That would be great. I would love that. Let me just swap some things around. And open up my channel points because I've restarted my computer like 8 times. All right. Oh, whatever. They're going to do whatever they want, aren't they? Eyebrows. Can't live with them. The end. Apart from the stream going down, how's your day been? Yeah, it's been fine. It's, just been chilling. Again, got to offload some more eggs onto family members. Love that. Can we open Raid Leader? I've been trying to remember to open it closer to the end of stream because we keep having situations where people redeem it and the person is offline by the time we're done. But yes, we can open up Raid Leader because typically I forget. I don't go a single day without considering shaving my eyebrows. My thing that I've been doing lately is this. You know, there are people that just get rid of like this part, or they just naturally don't really have hair that grows like past this point. And so their eyebrows are basically just this. It adds such an interesting vibe. Just like, yeah, what? I am David Bowie from the Labyrinth. Who's asking? Right? Like, maybe I should just go for it. Like, you know? It makes you look like a Star Trek Vulcan. Yes, also true. Nobody's gonna know. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just thinking about it. I'm not really gonna do it. So in my like deep pit of continuing to think to myself, like, what if I just cut my own hair? I was like, that would actually be incredible because I could do one stream where I try to research the best way to cut my own bangs and then cut my own bangs. And then the next stream could be trying to cut the rest of the hair. And then the next stream could be trying to bleach it. Right? What if it went amazing, though? Just saying. But also, what if it went terrible? Yes, Clarky. I'm working, honey. Can you come to me? She just yelled, "Come!" Like she's a queen. Oh my god. I think she's trying to go potty. One sec. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, what happened there um was God, today is just cursed. So, Clark was trying to nap in our bed, came to my door, right, and said, "I'm going to go to sleep in my bed." And I was like, "Okay." She didn't go to her bed. She went down the stairs into the kitchen, grabbed an entire box of cereal, tried to go back up the stairs with a whole box of cereal, dropped the cereal. Cereal went everywhere. She started sobbing. This was not what I expected to see when I left my room. I was like, "Honey, what's going on?" And she was like, "I dropped my cereal." I was like, "Oh, honey." So went down there, cleaned up the cereal, helped her back upstairs. And now she cannot decide. She's so tired. She's just overtired now. She can't decide if she wants to, what am I looking for? She can't decide if she wants to make a tower or sleep. So Sam's literally in there just rubbing her back. He was like, "Do you want me to rub your back and your hair until you fall asleep?" And she was like, "Yes." so that's what's going on in there, is Sam being a based dad and is just sitting by the bed with her, just stroking her back until she falls asleep. Because she has to sleep. She's so tired. Poor thing. I know. Why is she so tired? Well, so my mother-in-law, nanny, is her nanny, obviously, is trying to start like a Saturday morning ritual where she does like some form of like nanny picnic. And so she went to the park with nanny this morning and just came back absolutely shattered. But on the plus side, part of me was like, wait, if they're doing that every Saturday morning, that means I could actually have SMD be Saturday morning DOOGER, and I could actually do this stream in the morning in the future. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be wild? I know. And then the goof of, "But it's not morning, Dodger," would die on the vine. I don't mind this time slot. Well, like, for me, assuming that in the future we would like to do things with our Saturdays, actually doing SMD in the morning would help a lot, because then we would have the whole afternoon free to like do family stuff if we wanted to, you know. You did it. Crushed it. Everybody say "based Sam" in chat. Yeah, based Sam. It's 2:30 in the afternoon right now. So normally SMD happens from 1 to 3 o'clock. So instead, it could be from 10 to noon or 11 to 1 or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Sayst bam. Yeah. So somebody was asking about Callus Row. I didn't do Callus Row last night because Clarky did not really sleep. I mean, she did, but that's another reason why she's tired today. She slept, but like she was up a lot, and I was like, there's no way that I can do Callus Row. But if you're somebody who watched Callus Row, you know that it was a wacky episode and a bunch of shit happened. So that's a bummer. But Misdemeanor was really good. We did a misdemeanor episode, so. Callus Row last night was what a fucked up day. Yeah. I went into the, again, no spoilers in case any of you guys like watch VODs of Callus Row and haven't watched it yet, but I went into the Callus Row Discord, and in the Undercity channel everybody was like, so that was terrible. And I was like, oh, I missed it. Like, it's good, but it's also sad that I missed it. Yeah, if you want to see Laura, super cheeky, if you want to see Laura like do some great RP, last night's misdemeanor was really good for her. Coffee Day Games, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you. I appreciate the subscription. Oh my gosh. I don't think that there's anything more stressful than handing a cup of eggs to a 5-year-old. So I was saying at the start that that a couple of our nephew, two of our nephews came over to meet the chickens and to grab eggs.
You fine cat-loving.
And Tommy was like, I want eggs. Can I have the eggs from today? Were there eggs today? Can I have today's eggs? And I was like, sure. Absolutely. So I like put the eggs in a little, again, because somebody suggested this, in a little ice cream thing, and handed it to him, and he kept opening it up and closing it and opening it and closing it and taking an egg out and putting it back and closing it and opening it and closing it. And I noticed that his shoelace was untied, and I was like, can I tie your shoelace? And he was like, no. I was like, all right, if you trip and the eggs break, it will be very sad. Very stressful watching a 5-year-old just walk around with eggs. Like, please. Did I tell you guys about when Clark asked if she could see an egg and I handed it to her and she immediately threw it? I was like, honey. Like, impulses on kids are so funny. It's like, honey, no. So something that has happened multiple times when we've been cooking is she'll grab an egg and crack it when we don't need the egg yet, and I'll be like, okay, it's fine. We can contain it. We can contain it until we need to use it. That's okay. There's been one time when we were making muffins, and the muffin recipe that we use asks for 1 egg. And I had grabbed the 1 egg and put it in, and Clark reached over to the egg carton, grabbed another egg and cracked it, and I was like, oh, we don't need that. I guess we'll just put it in there and see what happens. How often do plates, cups, or house stuff break? Honestly, no shade to Sam. I think Sam has broken the same amount of things that Clark has. But Clark has like a pretty decent amount of things that she can use safely now, so that's good. We give her the same glasses that we do to drink water out of. But we always remind her like 2 hands and don't walk around with it and blah blah blah. So, has Clark broken the ceiling yet? You know what? That honor only goes to Sam. When you send Clark to timeout, Sam is already there. Oh, God. Hey, Jimmy, how are you? Putting in new cabinets, otherwise all well. Oh, my gosh. We how did Sam break the ceiling? Oh, he was doing a favor for me, so it's really shitty for me to be like, ugh, remember when he broke the ceiling? But when this was delivered, this was pre-built. So this was built by like a guy that lives nearby and sent to our place. And I was like, yeah, it's actually not like that heavy. Sam went to pick it up and he was like, oh, it's actually not that heavy, and tried to just take it up the stairs. And the top of the bookshelf slammed into the ceiling. So I had to do some polyfill on it, but it's fine. How do they transport big pieces like that? You can find people that'll ship this sort of stuff. Yeah. In our situation, it was like either you can pick it up, or I can get somebody to take it to your house, but you have to like pay them when they deliver it, basically. So we had to have cash on hand to give him after he delivered it. But yeah. It's been a while since I watched a stream. How you be? I be good. I be good. Is Clark saying mommy English yet? She says mommy. So it's it's an amalgamation. It's both. I asked her today because she, James is leaving Sorted. I didn't hear that. Oh, that's so sad. No, I hadn't heard that. He got a chef job, so he's leaving for a while. Oh, well, I hope that it's what he's wanting. That's great for him. What's some music you'd recommend? What kind of music do you like? I'm not good at recommending music because typically I don't remember who made a song that I like. You look like Ada Thorne on Peaky Blinders. I don't remember who that is. Oh, I do? I don't see it. She went through so much, dude. All the characters in Peaky Blinders went through so much. Yeah, Jared Lawson is pretty good, you know. You know, if you're into like funk and jazz, Should check out Jared Lawson. It's my brother. Just a heads up. That's my brother. Do I listen to Vocaloid? Not super often. This is another one where like there are songs that I've really liked and I can't find them now because I don't remember what they were called or like who made them or anything. Ada Thorne is a great surname. You know, I would take that surname. It's warm in the UK now. Too warm. It needs to stop. I mean, here at least, it's fluctuating wildly from super sunny and hot to overcast because the clouds are just moving really fast. So when the clouds are out, I'm like, what a beautiful day. When the sun's out, I'm like, too bright, too hot. UK getting a heat wave soon. We got to get our AC units in place, ready to go. Look, if you haven't listened to Shum yet, you should. Big recommendation. I've also gotten back into Studio Killers recently. What else? Inside Out. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Another person that I know, so again, biased, but another person that I know who made a song that I listen to all the time is Emma Blackery. Has a song called Third Eye that I love. So there's that. We're kind of like spreading you out to a lot of different types of music right now. God, this is the problem. There's a metal song that I was listening to over and over again, and now I can't find it or remember what it's called. I should really like save things on Spotify. I should use the systems built into Spotify a bit better. Do you remember the last song that got stuck in your head? Yeah, there's a song stuck in my head right now called Birthday Suit. Bum bum ba da 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 da. I know Emma Blackery, not in person. We'll revisit. She's lovely. She's like really dedicated herself to music. Same with Tessa Violet. Tessa's stuff is so good as well. Really recommend both of them. But again, I know both of them in person, so. Da, 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 da. Hair down, DOOGER. You know it. When my internet was out, I was like, guess I'm washing my hair. Have I done voice acting in the past? I have done a little bit of voice acting. I am a Ravi in Monster Prom. I am a farting troll in Witcher 3. Um, I'm the like cowgirl fox character in Awesome Knots. Um, what else? Yeah, I've been in a few things. Farting troll is your open Magnus, right? Magnum opus. I I also did the fart noises. So, I really committed to that role. You were awesome in Awesome Nights Knots. Oh my god. I think that's probably the voice acting gig that I dislike the most. I don't want to say hate it, but I cannot listen. I can't listen to it. It's so bad to me as the person who did it. Are you in guilty gear like a certain someone? I am not. But yo, shout out to Octo, who's been hustling and really going for it and auditioning and taking courses and doing all kinds of shit to really like solidify himself as a voice actor. It's all paying off, bud. Love you. Have you made or sung any music lately? I'm remembering the Evie song from a while back. The last thing that I sang on, we did the Hitachi rap. I don't think that counts. We did the Hitachi rap. The last like singing that I did was on the Song of the Seven that I almost said Mimica that Kelly made for Arcadum's game. I was a line in Song of the Seven. And there are a couple music projects that I have that I just haven't done yet. But yeah. Would you ever do a children's song? Yeah. I've said this before, but like I've been pretty open about the fact that I'm really self-conscious about my singing voice. I've been talking with Sam lately about taking singing classes, like singing lessons, because I want to feel more confident, and there are like certain like vocal ranges that just feel really weak. So I just want to like get a little bit of training, I think. And so he's really been encouraging that since I've shown an interest in that. But my family is full of musicians. So any kind of like art or talent, when it seems to pop up a lot in a family, you are much more hyper aware of it, and you tend to compare yourself to the other people in the family, if that makes sense. My brother is an incredible musician and an incredible singer, and I spent so much of my life comparing myself to him as a singer, which isn't fair. We have completely different types of vocals, and he also was like studying music from a young age, and I was not. Right? There's lots of different variables there. It doesn't mean that he isn't talented. Of course he is, but he's also put in a lot of work, right? And so I've gotten to the point where I'm much more confident and less self-conscious of it. But yeah. Sam is actually a pretty talented artist, like drawing artist. and he used to draw all the time, and then had a really bad experience in an art class and stopped drawing as much. And he really wants to like he really wants to like nurture that again, but it's difficult to find the time. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that you can 100% have healthy competition in a family when it comes to like music or art or whatever. And I think you absolutely can like encourage each other. Our situation was that Jared was the music kid, right? He just like took to instruments really fast. He has a beautiful voice, right? And I didn't show any like serious interest in music until I was older. And whether that's because I didn't want to compete with him and I felt like I shouldn't do music, or if it was just that my interests were in other places because I had lots of interests growing up, right? Like whatever it was. It wasn't a situation where we were growing up doing music together. He's 11 years older than me. He had already, by the time I showed up in the world, been doing music for a long time. I don't recall a time in my life that Jared wasn't practicing on the piano all the time and singing all the time and blah, 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 right? So maybe if we were closer in age, I don't know. But yeah, sorry. This is like a super side tangent. What I actually wanted to say was that I feel like music projects are so fun, but the only thing that I know how to do is sing, and even then I feel like I'm not as strong as I could be as a singer. So there are projects that I would love to do. And like you guys know, I've commissioned instrumentals from my brother for a song. But I do much better with like singing when I have direction, when there's somebody there to be like, okay, try it like this, or like you're getting kind of pitchy here, that kind of stuff. So personal projects, I have to find somebody to do that for me, you know? Can Sam sing? Sam will tell you that he cannot sing, and he's lying. He's a big liar. I love his singing voice. He hates it. Yes, I would love to learn bass guitar. It is the instrument that I have been the most interested in learning in my life. Would you learn theory if you had lessons? I assume I would solidify how to read music. I don't remember any of that shit. I never like really learned how to read music anyway. Music theory, I don't know how much you would get into that. I don't know how much that helps with singing, but yes, there's a thread that I retweeted that wound up I was like stuck getting replies to this thread of people arguing about it for, I want to say 2 weeks after. It was a mess. But the idea of the thread was like, I think that it's really sad that that a lot of times people don't value artistic efforts just for what they are, which is something that humans naturally want to do, right? Humans naturally love to make music. They naturally love to create art and all of these things and dance and whatever else. And we're like we live in a society, right, where people feel like there's no point to doing that unless you are going to do it well, right? And we're like hyper aware of our own skills instead of just enjoying the act of making it, right? Holy shit, that like I was getting replies to that for so long from people arguing about the validity of it. It was driving me crazy. Somebody was like, what? So because I'm a professional artist, like I'm like part of the problem or something. And I was like, what's happening? Sam and I sing together to put Clark to sleep a lot. But I think sometimes he just lets me sing instead by myself. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, you want Twinkle Twinkle? Daddy knows Twinkle Twinkle. And he'll be like, yeah, I used to make my mom loved singing songs to me at bedtime. She hated telling stories.
Coffee drinking burrito
And
babe.
as a kid, I could tell. So I stopped asking her to tell me stories. But like, if she's watching, hi, mommy. We sang songs all the time, and it was so fun. And a lot of the songs that we sang together, I sing to Clark now, which is really fun. But like, I would ask her to tell me stories like Cinderella or Little Red Riding Hood, and you could tell she was like, oh, must I? Junkie, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you. I appreciate the subscription. I know, right? It's so sweet. Parents will do it anyway. It's like there was there was a Reddit thread from a parent. I can't remember if I talked about this before. I've talked about everything at least once, probably. But there was a Reddit thread of a guy who was like, I really hate playing pretend. It's like, I have a kid, and my kid obviously wants to play pretend, and it's important to their development, and I realize that, but God, I really hate it. And I was like, oh, man. That's so interesting. To be in a position where you're like, I know that this is beneficial and really helpful to my kid, but God, I hate it. Ba, 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 ba. Inside Out. Someone's been watching too much TikTok. It's a song that's on my my little list of repeated songs that I play in the car. But yes, I originally found it through TikTok. Best toppings for a baked potato. Oh, I'm not a big fan of the like loaded baked potatoes. That's like a thing. I like jacket potatoes out here is such a thing. There's whole restaurants that are like, we just give you potatoes and then there's stuff to put on the potato. It's wacky. But I always grew up with loads of butter and chives. That was the standard. As an adult, I've come to appreciate the twice baked potato with cheese. And I don't tend to get super wacky with mine. I didn't like sour cream as a kid. So sour cream was never a thing. I do like it now though. It's twice baked, that they just bake it twice. So it's basically baked and then the center is like creamed up, right? So you scoop out all of the potato goodness in the middle and mix it with some stuff and maybe put cheese on it, and then you bake it again. Inside Out. Wow, 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 wow. Roasted broccoli and ranch, my favorite for baked potatoes. I do love roasted broccoli. I'm not a fan of putting cheese on top of everything. There are certain things that like I sort of mentally reject doing. One of them is putting cheese all over stuff. I think partly because I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm hyper aware of if there's a lot of cheese on a thing. But the other one is putting ketchup on everything. Sam is a ketchup person. Sam puts ketchup on everything. And I'm always like, how do you taste beyond the ketchup? How do you taste the original thing, the OG thing, through the ketchup? And I also wonder that about cheese sometimes, like really strong cheeses. Like, do you taste anything but the cheese? I don't know. I like ketchup. I just don't want ketchup all over stuff. I knew a kid that put ketchup in his ramen. Oh, I bet that's interesting. I used to dunk sriracha on everything. I took a really long break from sriracha. I recently bought sriracha again and have been using it on stuff again. Because Sam had the whole like tummy issue, right? He can eat stuff that's slightly spicy now. It can't be super spicy, but like slightly spicy, and he's okay. So it's not as much of a thing, but for a while there it was like, if I want something to be a little spicy, I have to doctor it separately. So I have to make it without spice and then add spice in later. So I found that sriracha, or just like hot sauces in general, were an easy way to do that with like when I would make chili, right? I would make like a really, and I still do this now, make like a really bland chili, and then everybody can just doctor it up however they want, if they want it to be spicy or not. In my birthday suit. I made chili a few days ago. I really fucked that shit up. What does that mean? I like many forms of potato, but I've never managed to get into baked potatoes or mashed potatoes. I didn't like mashed potatoes as a kid, which shocks me because I adore mashed potatoes now. But up until I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, I really didn't like them. And then I hit a point where I loved them. If you want to talk about fucking a thing up. So I was trying to do, we make what we call purple pancakes. They're not always purple. It depends on what frozen fruit is around. But purple pancakes, normally it's frozen blueberries, uncooked oats, and then one egg, an egg white, cinnamon, a bit of salt, and then a big squeeze of maple syrup, and you blend it all together, and then that's like a pancake batter. And they turn out purple because blueberries are purple, despite the name. I completely forgot today that you're supposed to, because frozen fruit, if it's like heated up really quickly, it turns into like a compote, like a kind of thick fruit sauce, right? So you're supposed to take the frozen blueberries or the frozen fruit and microwave it for 1 minute and then add everything else in and then blend it. And I completely forgot. And I was sitting there blending it up and going, something's wrong. Something's wrong here. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong. And then it occurred to me and I thought, well, I guess I'm gonna just try to use it anyway and see what happens. It's too late now, right? I'm not gonna throw this out. So I guess I'm just gonna try to do what you would normally do with it and see what happens. And it really changed the texture of the pancakes. This was another day when the no bowl came into effect. Clark was like, I don't like those. I was like, okay, here's a no bowl, honey. You can put them in the no bowl. And once again, she put all of the pancakes in the no bowl and said, no, I don't want them. And then once she was done with the rest of her food, she ate all of the pancakes. But at first she was like, something's wrong with this. And I was like, you're correct. You're correct. Something is wrong with these. I could try to explain it to you, but I don't think it would mean anything. I feel like Clark has everything written all over her face when she's displeased. And this is the hope, she is not learning at all to disguise how she's feeling about stuff, which is great. It's really great for me as a parent. So she'll eat something and go, I'll be like, you don't like it? And she'll go, nah. Okay, so I was explaining this yesterday, but the concept of the no bowl, not noble, but no bowl, like a bowl. I found it in a video, and it has actually worked really well for us. The idea is that you give your kid whatever food it is they're going to eat for that meal, and you also provide a bowl called the no bowl. And that's where if they have something on their plate that they don't want to eat, they can put it there. So you're giving them a little bit of agency, a little bit of control about what they're eating and what's on their plate, right? So as they're eating things, if they're really young and they tend to throw things on the floor, you can redirect them and be like, you don't have to throw it on the floor. You can just put it in the no bowl, right? Clark is 3. So for her, it's just about like having some control and being able to decide where things are. So the interesting thing about this is that, and this is what the person who made the video said, and I have confirmed that this is what happens with us as well, is that with that bit of control comes more of a relaxation about the food. So Clark will say, I don't want this. And whether that means I don't want it on my plate or I don't want to eat it or whatever, it doesn't matter. Say, I don't want this. She'll put it in the no bowl. But most of the time, once she's done with her food that's still on the plate, she'll start eating out of the no bowl. Which is pretty great. So. A life hack. It is very interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that, tons of people spend their whole life trying to learn about how kid brains work, but when you think about how much control as an adult you have over what you eat and the difference between that and as a kid, how much control you have over what you eat. It's like none, right? Like she has no control over what she gets to eat, which is why we're trying to introduce stuff to try and lessen like struggles that way, to be like, here's a place where there are always snacks. You can eat these snacks whenever you want. When you're eating a meal, there's a place that you can put food that you don't want, you know, like stuff like that. Yeah, it's more of a maybe bowl. We just call it a no bowl. Have you had any issues with Clarky lying? Honestly, not really. She's like really honest, and I try to not have a negative reaction when she's honest to me or honest with me, because I want her to continue to be honest with me, right? So sometimes she'll do something and I'll be like, honey, we shouldn't do that because X, Y, and Z. And then I'll hear something that suspiciously sounds like she's doing it and turn around and go, did you just do that thing that we talked about not doing? And she'll be like, yeah. Like, all right, cool. Thank you for being honest with me. The other thing that I was told by another parent that made a lot of sense to me that I've tried to employ is to not put my kid into a position where they could lie when you know the answer. So, for example, if your kid is supposed to do homework and you know that they haven't done the homework yet, don't say, have you done your homework? Instead, just be upfront and say, like, I've noticed that you haven't done your homework. Is there a reason that you're putting it off? Like, is there anything you need help with? Like, do you think that we could get it done now? That sort of a thing. So trying to do that is a little difficult because I definitely grew up in a house that was more of like a, hey, did you do that thing? When everybody knew you hadn't. So trying not to do that and trying to just up front, you know, with Clark, be like, hey, Clarky, you know, we were talking about not eating this thing on the couch. I saw that you were eating it on the couch. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it into the kitchen and we're going to eat the rest of it in the kitchen, right? That kind of a thing. Fair enough, but also homework sucks. Agreed. Hey, abolish homework, but also do you find yourself being more disciplined to set a better example? With food? Yeah. The foods that I try to encourage her to eat, I try to make sure I eat in front of her to like lead by example. Like, these things are really good for us. We should eat those a lot and not just never eat it in front of her, because then she's going to be like, in terms of behavior, I really desperately want to be better at being upfront about things. And I think the only way she's going to learn how to be upfront with how she's feeling and what's going on with her is if I model that. So there's a lot of fire under my butt to do that, to like tell her when, you know, my feelings are hurt or when I'm sad, and you know, to try and like co-regulate with her if she's going through a thing, and try to like validate how she's feeling and make her feel like she can talk about that. And also there's so much research out there that if you're in like a 2 or 3 or however many parent home, if you're in a home with like multiple adults, it's really important for the kid to see the parents have that same healthy communication with one another. So me trying to be much more like straightforward with Sam. Have you and Sam thought about when you'd have the talk with her? Like sex talk stuff? I think that you should talk about body autonomy really early. I think that it's important to talk about that stuff really, really early. I think that from a young age they can know like the concept of like how things are born, right? But I haven't really thought about like what age you should be having a talk with your kid about that sort of stuff, but my kid's also 3. Earlier the better is the general consensus. I think there are aspects to it that can wait until they're older and should wait until they're older. But yeah, I think that it can build on itself, right? Right now, it's a conversation of like, you know, you have your body. It is your body. You get to decide what goes on with it, right? I help you stay clean and healthy, and I will continue to do that. But like beyond that, like it's all you, baby doll, right? And it's the same for me. It's the same for daddy. You know, and we have conversations all the time when she comes home from preschool and stuff. I'll ask her like, you know, who did you play with today? You know, did you like which teachers did you hang out with? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel safe? Did you have fun? Right? Try to keep it lighthearted, but make her feel like she can talk about her day and be honest, you know? All of that sort of stuff I think is like the starting point when you have a kid around my age, around Clarky's age. The skeleton is not in your stomach. You know, that one can come later. The boobs are for babies comment is still perfect. Mommy, boobs are for feeding babies. They sure are, Clarky. Well done. Yep, correct. She said that? Yeah. And she asked what they were for. So I was like, they feed babies. But yeah, I hope that answer helped. It's stuck in my head now, for real. Yeah, chickens are doing good. My nephew chased them earlier. Poor things. I kept being like, honey, if you chase them, they're going to be scared of you. Please be gentle with them. They're only little. And then oh my God. And then he climbed into the run. And I was like, honey, you don't want to go in there. There's poop. There's chicken poop everywhere. And he looked down like, what? It's like, can you please come out of the chicken run? He was like, but I wanted an egg. I was like, honey, I already grabbed the eggs today. There are no eggs in there. And he was like, what? Do the chickens like being pet? They let me pet them currently. They don't let anybody else pet them. But I see and hang out with them every day, so. Yes, my 5-year-old husband, Sam, climbed into the chicken run. Oh, this is our little nephew, Tommy. He was like, can I see the chickens? I want to see the chickens. Can I have eggs? How many eggs can I have? Can I have a few eggs? And I was like, I'll give you 1 egg for each member of your family. And he was like, yes. Yeah, all my chickens, they don't so far not big on being held, I don't think. But if I walk over, they'll do this. They'll like squat down like, if you want to pet me, you can. So the chickens and the cats interact through windows, and that's it. So the chickens like to walk up to the windows while the cats are there and basically just strut like, I know you can't get me, bitch. They are Mrs. Hudson, Rosie Posey, and Bergie. Mrs. Hudson is my bud. She just follows me around. Rosie Posey has gotten very independent. She walks around all by herself now, which is wacky. I keep seeing her right outside of the front door, and I'm like, are you by yourself? Is it written Bergie or Bergie? I always type it BER. BERGIE. I live for the Saturday morning chicken updates. Yeah. We're getting 3 eggs per day. Way more than we can ever eat. We're starting to bake a lot more and trying to basically use eggs every day. And even then, and after giving eggs to my mother-in-law and now to my nephew, we still have around 10 eggs, I think, sitting on the rotator. So the family egg fairy. Yeah, I was saying when I dropped off the eggs from my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, it was like, oh my God, I feel like a farm family. You've dropped off eggs and a little basil plant that you propagated. This is so fun. Yeah, I have a little spiral thing. Some people just put them in baskets. I have a little spiral thing. I like it because I can always keep track of which egg is the oldest egg. So yeah, it's just like a spiral that goes up like this, and then the new eggs I just put at the top of the spiral. So yeah, every time I make ramen, I've been putting a scrambled egg in the ramen. Which one's your favorite? Which chicken is my favorite? Mrs. Hudson is definitely like my bud. She actually like runs after me if I start walking away. So I'll look behind me and she's just like just booking it behind me. Not soft-boiled eggs for ramen. I mean, yeah, of course you could do a soft-boiled egg, but like if you've never basically done like egg drop ramen, it's delicious. You can just like whip up an egg, and while everything's boiling, I actually do it because the way that I make ramen is whatever seasoning packet there is, I put it in the bowl, and then I boil the noodles, and then eyeball how much water I want, like how much broth I want there to be, and then put it in the bowl, and the water like dissolves the seasoning packet, and I mix it, right? So, yeah. So then after that, I'll whip up an egg and then pour it in while I'm stirring. And basically, because the broth is so hot, it instantly cooks the egg. And then you have like little bits and strips of egg in your soup, like egg drop soup, and it's delicious. The thing for me, so I've gotten very used to room temperature eggs. I'm totally used to it now. The thing that I'm not used to is that the only way that you can keep eggs room temperature is if you don't wash them. So you grab your eggs, you bring them inside, do not wash them. Just put them wherever your eggs go and wash them right before you use them. Because there's like a coating on, like a natural coating on the egg, that when you wash it off, they will go bad quicker. But that means that like you're putting like dirty eggs like in a thing, and they just sit there. Have you tried freezing the eggs? That has not been necessary yet. I'm sure at a certain point we'll have like a bunch of eggs. But we only have 3 chickens. We're getting 3 eggs a day. We're trying to use eggs every day. And Sam's family is huge. Like huge. So it's very easy to find somebody to take the eggs. You've never washed the shell? Yeah, I always rinse the shell before I don't scrub it, but I rinse it off before I use it. Because there's like dirt and feathers and stuff on them. How many siblings does Sam have? 4. And so Sam is the eldest of 5 kids. 3 of them have partners and children. So there are currently 6 kids, including Clarky, and people are trying to have more right now. Not us, but other people are trying to have more. Yeah, Sam really burned himself out on eggs while he was bulking. When he was like first getting ripped like years ago, he was basically only eating eggs. And so he like cannot eat them very easily now. He has to, that's one of the things he drenches in ketchup. You can burn out on eggs. I'm not like a huge egg person. So if I'm having like a 2-egg breakfast, which is like a classic thing that you can get at like an American diner, right? A 2-egg breakfast with like, hash browns and bacon and whatever, toast. If there's a 1-egg breakfast, I'll do that instead, because normally 2 eggs is too much for me. Meanwhile, I can eat hash browns forever. I've gone to a diner before and literally just ordered an entire plate of hash browns. So, you know, different strokes, etc. Hardcore. Hardcore mega. Shredded hash browns is normally what you get. Well, that's not true. It depends on the place that you go to. Some places they're like, yeah, I think home fried, home style. If they say it's home style potatoes, it'll be cubes. If they say it's hash browns, you can probably expect them to be shredded in America, or like home fries. But I prefer that if I'm having breakfast, if I'm at a diner with some shitty coffee and I'm getting breakfast at 3 a.m., I want the shredded shit. Oh my God. I don't remember if I told you guys, but so Jeannie and her husband just moved back to Los Angeles. I'm very happy for them and also jealous because, you know, there's like a little bit of homesickness there. I'm willing to admit that. It turns out that they moved like right next to Sam and my favorite diner when we were living in LA. And I was like, you have to go here. You have to get the chilaquiles. It's so good. Yeah. I was like, next time when I'm in town, I'm staying with you and we're going to walk there and I'm very excited. Have you fallen in love with crumpets yet? Oh, I've loved crumpets for a long time. Yeah. They got all the pockets. I don't remember what the phobia is of holes though, but they must be a nightmare for those people. I've been out of America for like a week. I would kill for some chilaquiles. Dude. Trypophobia, that's what it is. So it's a type of like breakfast bread that when it's cooking, it creates little air bubbles, and when the bubbles pop, there's a divot in the bread. So there's holes everywhere, but what's really nice is you can toast them and then put butter on them, and the butter basically goes inside of the bread because all of the holes are there. So that's what a crumpet is. Is it like an English muffin? No, English muffins don't exist here. English muffins are like a weird American thing. Yeah, it's strange. Crumpets are not English muffins. No, they are completely different. They are nothing like each other aside from the fact that they're both bread. English muffins are literally they're just bread. What were Sam's thoughts on English muffins? I believe he said, but we don't have those in England. But those aren't English. So. They're not muffins. It's interesting trying to like have the like explain this thing when there some people in chat are English and are like, wait, but we do have muffins. And then some people in America are American, or in the chat are American, right? And are going, wait, but but aren't they just the same as? It's difficult to like help both sides. Googling chilaquiles, it looks like wet Doritos. So it's tortilla chips. You can just take like corn tortilla and chop it up and then fry it, or bake it or whatever. But then once it's crispy, it's soaked in salsa. It's so good. And that's like the base for the rest of it. Yeah. We 100% have savory English muffins, also the sweet American kind. They're not muffins, though. No, they're not muffins. They're called muffins, but they're not muffins is the point. Anyways, I can't help you. Go to Google. I can't assist anymore. I've done what I can. Oh my God. And now people are like, yeah, they're like biscuits. And other people are like, they're nothing like biscuits. Because in England, a biscuit is a cookie. Oh, God. What a mess. What a mess the English language is. This is a nightmare. Go to Google. I can't help. This is getting so messy in here. The Great Crisps War. What is an English muffin then? Google it. That's what I'm saying. I can't do this anymore. Go look it up. It's bread. It's a disc of bread. Anyways. I say scone. I think here you say scone, right? But yeah, where I grew up, you say scone. It depends on the region. Oh, there you go. The English say both. Ho ho. So I'm correct somewhere around here. You're friendship jailing this? Oh my God. They did. They friendship jailed. Goodbye. You're in jail. Enjoy. Flint has put you all in timeout to preserve friendships in chat. And now it's just me and all these cute emotes. Clark was like, Mommy, why are your eyes orange? And I was like, do you like them? And she was like, yeah. It's like, all right, tight. Then what's the problem? What is that Sam emote? Is that a Sam emote? This one? My streamer? What does that mean? Wah, bah, 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 bah. Blah, blah, wow. Ba, 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 ba. Blah, 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 blah. In my birthday suit. Okay. You're free. Free to exact vengeance on he who imprisoned me. It is the curse of the lamp. All the power in the universe, and I'm bound by the rules of the genie. Which means I can't kill that upstart Aladdin unless I have someone arrange it for me. Take me to Agrabah at once. It's been a while. Thank you, Flint, for your friendship jail. It looks like it. It's because we are proud of our streamer. It looks like a really depressed emote, though. That new Sam one. I don't know what it means either. It looks sad. Is it sad? How do you have that memorized? No clue. No clue. I don't know why I have it memorized. There's a tear on the cheek. So, is it sad? It's pride and sadness from when Ash lost a championship or something. Oh, it's a Pokemon joke? Okay. I see. I see. Okay. It's like, wow, they've really grown up kind of shit. The deep lore. I love it. That's my boy. Inside out. In my birthday suit. I'll find a different song. Later, I'll find a different song to be singing. But right now, this is where we're stuck. I can't hear That's My Boy without thinking about the boys. The boys. Somebody was doing like a... so people on TikTok really like to do sort of flashes of different outfits, right? So there's like a whole side of TikTok that's like fashion stuff. And a couple of people did that, but with their like people that they've cosplayed or like their D&D characters, right? So instead of doing like flashes of outfits, it was flashes of characters. And I was like, that would be so funny to do for me. It would be impossible because I don't know how to do makeup, but it would be so funny to go from like Zach to Fabia. It would take so much time. Yeah, to Eugene. I'll just put just a slime. I'll just put like one of those slimes that people play with on ASMR videos and just put it on a table. I have not seen Invincible. Sam said it's really good though, and that I would like it, but I still haven't finished Shadow and Bone, so I'm just taking forever. Most of the time when I sit down to watch something, I fall asleep. So that's my life currently. And Artemis, don't forget Artemis. Dude, I actually consistently forget that I ever played Artemis. That sweet mom life. You know it. You know it. Being a parent is like constantly feeling like you need a break and then feeling guilty when you get a break. I would say that the character that is, I don't know. I was going to say, I would say that the character that is most like me is Fabia, but that's not really true. It's just that Fabia is more of like a glass half full person like me, but Fabia is also so chaotic, which I'm not. Wazy cosplay? Maybe once I bulk up. Once I get thick, I can do a Wazy cosplay. Hell yeah. Wazy would be super fun, actually. She was a queen. The word you're looking for is annoying? I love Fabia. My heart, it cracks. The life of a parent, please be quiet. And then, wait, why is my kid being so quiet? No, for real. It's, I will, on days when like she's really active, I'll be like, oh my gosh, honey, can you please just chill a little bit? And then on days when she's chill, I feel like, but we're not doing anything. I feel bad. We should be doing stuff. Like you just can never have a happy medium. Oh, congrats, CN Beard. That's amazing. It kind of oscillates wildly depending on if she's been at preschool. So like when she goes to preschool, typically the day after, she'll want to just like chill, at least for the morning. So we just spend a lot of like just hanging. We just hang outside and we do a little bit of cooking and like it's pretty chill. But sometimes I'm like, she was exhausted yesterday. I bet that today she's gonna just want to like relax, and she does not want to relax. My mom feels bad on days we're not doing things, but I'm 20. Yeah. My mom is like, some of you guys I'm sure are like this and you will empathize with my mom. My mom is the sort of person where the second she sits down, her brain is going, I need to do something else, you know? So she gets a lot done and is very productive, but I think it sometimes comes from a place of like anxiety, right? So her retired life has been her trying to teach herself to just sit, to just hang. So I always love like if I'm visiting her and she turns on the TV and falls asleep in front of the TV, I'm like, you go, mommy. You sit, you sleep, you take a nap. I love it. She's chilling. My dad is that person when he visits. Yeah, before the world shut down, when Sam's dad would come over, Sam's dad is 100% the person that like comes over to just do like a chill, relaxing thing and will 100% find something to fix or something to clean or right, like a project, and he'll be like, "Why don't you just we could just do that now." Which is very funny to me. I'd love to be that person. I think that it's partially a learned thing, right? To like teach your brain that some things can be done quickly, right? Because I think for a lot of us, it's you look at a project and you know it probably won't take that long, but gearing up to do it is difficult. Sam's dad does not have that. Sam's dad like looks at a thing and is like, that will literally take me 5 minutes. I'm doing it. Right? like whatever the opposite of a procrastinator is. Is Sam's dad my dad? I can't imagine such power. The last time that I went to their house, everybody was supposed to be like sitting to watch a movie, and Sam's dad was off in the corner painting a cabinet. like kind of watching the movie, but also painting. And we were like, "Are you good?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just figured I would just get it done." Okay. Mm. I'm the cabinet painter. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if it's coming from like if it's coming from a mental place of I need to do these things from like a moral standpoint, right? That like that I won't feel good about myself unless I do these things. Um I think that's something that's worth like analyzing, because your worth is not in whether you've cleaned the thing or whether you've fixed the thing, right? But if it like genuinely just makes you feel good to do that stuff, amazing. I'm the cabinet. That was a great thing to look over and see as a follow up. My dad knows how to do so many things, and he easily starts projects. I think somebody a while back last time that we talked about this was saying that there's either a theory or there's been studies about it, but that there are people that are good at starting things, people that are good at working on things, and people that are good at finishing things. My dad is terrible at finishing things, like really bad at it, but he knows how to do pretty much everything. So he can start any project, right? He can start replacing a car engine, and he can start applying a new roof, and he can start all kinds of stuff. But it's really hard for him to finish those projects. So, and I think it comes from a perfectionism place. The one true universal dad, painter of cabinets, taker of naps. My dad, I've talked about this before, but my dad had like undiagnosed scoliosis for most of his life, and he's like fallen off of roofs and things, and his back is just so messed up. And my mom will take pictures of him. He does like little back exercises every day, and he like lays on the floor with like a thing under his back and all kinds of stuff. And my mom will take pictures of him doing it and send it to me. And there's something so like, oh, because for years he does it every day, right? So when I see it, I'm like, oh, it's daddy doing his exercises. And sometimes the reason I thought of that is because sometimes while he's doing it, he falls asleep, and then he'll just be sleeping on the floor. My sweet dad. He is adorable. He's about my height, again, because of back problems. So his back has been like kind of collapsing over the years. But he's about my height. He looks like a little hobbit. Have your parents ever expressed interest in chatting or sharing stories on stream? No. And I wouldn't ask them to. I have talked with my mom and my dad about like sitting down and typing out stories. My mom did that for her dad. Would like type out, like he would talk about things and she would type it out basically. So both she and I have said to my dad has had like, you know, the way that when you're watching Sam, he'll like offhandedly be like, oh yeah, I did that as a job once, or oh yeah, I lived there once. And you're like, what the fuck? When did you have the time to do all of these things? Right? Like he's just done a lot in his life. My dad went through so much in his life before he was even, 20. And so my mom and I keep being like, we really need to write down stuff before he forgets, because both of my parents are in their 70s. So I don't know that he would want me to do it. There might be like some stories that he wouldn't feel comfortable like telling in detail to his daughter. I don't know, but I've offered. Oh, I've made videos of my elder family members reading storybooks, so I have a little piece of their voice to keep forever. That's such a sweet idea. Wow, yeah. Yeah, I never thought to do something like that. I should do something like that. Cook's gonna have a massive archive. I just go to everybody in the family. Tommy, I know you're only 5 years old, but can you read this book? Just so that we have it. All right, let's wrap up today, guys. Again, thank you so much for your patience. We were having internet problems when we tried to start the stream originally, and then poor Clarky had a little meltdown and stuff. So I appreciate your patience. We still got to have a stream for a couple hours here. Avi, thank you for the gifted sub. Nelly G for the 55. LWF for the 20. Sonic Advance for all of the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Bakovic for the 28. Teox for the 26. Elodie for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Arnar for the 66. It's Ghost of You for the 1 year. Happy anniversary to you as well. Erwinga for the 10. Space Pirate Pluto for the 11. Coffee Day Games for subscribing. Spy Crabbo for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang, both of you. Thank you so much. Mirath for the 55. Cyber Arcanist for the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Psycho Wolf Girl for the 58. Zephyrus 1 for the 59. Terrible Jack for the biddies. Junkie for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you. Indie Shark for the 8. Kyleel. Orkilia, thank you for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Ardark for the 58. Nadriachi for the 59. Mist and Chocolate for the 58. Citro for the 66. My new name for Twitch for the 62. Flint Whitelock for the 32. Mika Muka for the 66. Coil Twitchbot for the biddies. GK Gamer Fan for the 45. And Erwin for the biddies as well. Thank you guys. I believe that we're rating Jossum today, who is a lovely friend of the stream. They're doing some art stuff, so go say hi. Yeah, no stream tonight. I don't think that there's a reason to stream tonight. Tomorrow, no manga pod as well. We did our manga pod in the middle of the week, and Aaron's out of town now. Also, Sam and I are getting our vaccines done. So very excited about that. But yeah, so no streaming tomorrow at all. I'll be on Godforged, but that doesn't happen on my channel. So if you like Godforged, if you want to see Fabia, my chaotic bunny, come hang out, watch Godforged. But yeah, there you go. Go say hi to Jossum. They're lovely. It's their 4-year anniversary streaming. I'm going to go be mama. All right. Bye-bye, guys.